Hi, I'm Phil Spencer, and welcome to the Move IQ podcast home selling series, the only podcast series dedicated to help you sell your property. This season is sponsored by Go2 Group, who have a concierge service that can help you with all you need, from choosing the right agent, mortgage advisor, solicitor, surveyor, even removals. Plus, using Go2 online auctions or their committed buyer service to sell your home can give you certainty and peace of mind. We've added a link below so you can connect with them. Enjoy the podcast and hope you find it useful.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode number 8 of our Move IQ podcast, season 3. It's been a real pleasure, I will say, as we dive now into our last episode for this season, Phil. Bit of a celebratory one.
Well, I think it is celebratory. Not only have we reached the end, and hopefully the good friends have got good amounts of information out of it, but we are going to talk about the celebratory moment of the day of the sale. And what that feels like, and what you should actually do, and how to prepare for it. The day you move out.
Can be quite emotional, I would have thought.
I think you're absolutely right. There's been so much build-up and anticipation, and probably a little bit of stress and decisions, and an awful lot of logistics to plan in marketing your house and getting people around, agreeing the offer, going through the conveyancing, but maybe buying another one. Actually, when it comes to that day, your job is done. And it might have taken you months. It probably has taken you months. It could have taken you years to get to that. But on that day, the deal is done. The money changes hands. You say goodbye to your home. You lock the door and walk out, and you never go back. That is a moment. And I think it catches people by surprise, actually.
Now, I'll be honest. Properties that I've sold in the past have been investment properties. They have not, 2 of them. Condos, not even in the UK for that matter. But they've been investment properties, and therefore I've never lived in them. Didn't care so much selling those properties. I was more than happy to switch the keys. I had no problems at all. But I would have thought that letting go of a family home, particularly where your children have grown up, can be quite a moving experience for a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, just the idea of me walking around my children's bedrooms for the last time, where I read to them and kissed them goodnight over and over. It's a tough one.
Yeah. I moved home 4 years ago, and I distinctly went into every room and said goodbye.
You actually said it out loud?
I did, actually, yes.
Did you get any replies? This was the reason why you moved out of your house. The place was bloody haunted, is what it was. Oh, dear.
But I can still picture each room. I can remember it well. But I think it's kind of worth just chatting a little bit about preparing for that, and preparing for the new incumbent, the person that spent their good money buying your lovely home off you, and making sure that process is happy for them as well. Hopefully you've got on well with your neighbours, and hopefully the person coming in is going to have a nice time and settle in and get on well with the neighbours and enjoy living in your house. And I think there are little things that you can do to kind of assist that, because you're selling a house, but actually they're buying a house, and arguably it's easier to sell something and walk away from it than it is to buy it and walk in it, and then you've got to settle in. You've just spent your good money. You really want to enjoy it.
I mean, I remember having a bit of a shock when we moved, or when I saw the property after I'd taken ownership. It had sat empty for a couple of weeks. I walked in, and obviously it was very different to the last time I saw it, which was full of furniture and all the rest of it. Carpets had been ripped up on my request because I didn't want them. They were stinky and old and dirty, and I didn't want them. There was
marks all over the walls. Yeah,
but it was like it was a shock to the system, if I'm to be honest. Now, I'm not saying that it was anything that I didn't expect.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, particularly, I think if I'm buying a home, it's a nice way to be able to, as the seller, turn around and say, well, if someone's coming in, I'm going to leave the place in as good condition as I possibly can.
Yes. As good as you would hope to find when you
Precisely. Precisely.
Yeah. So
exactly.
a good clean up as best you can goes an awfully long way. And I think a nice welcome note to the new owners, and maybe a bottle of something to kind of celebrate their moment. But there you go.
There we go. It doesn't hurt.
It's a nice touch.
Yep.
Obviously, you've got to do the kind of the practical things. You've got to take all your meter readings. You've got to redirect your post. All very important kind of hands-on practical things that can be done either before or on the day.
The one thing that made a big difference to me was 2 box files full of manuals
Brilliant.
and contact information for people like landscapers in the area.
Yeah.
Like I think we joked a little bit about the chimney sweeper a little earlier on, the plumber who installed the boiler
That's so
8 years
helpful.
prior and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff. Hugely helpful. Massively helpful.
Yeah.
Like I would have spent gladly a little bit more money to have all that stuff built in because it made our lives so much easier when we moved in. Yeah.
And not too difficult for the person you bought from to sort that out. But it does make a big difference to you on the settling in that you haven't got to. I mean, say the boiler doesn't work. Who do you ring? Well, if you can ring the person who put it in, that's massively helpful. Yeah, it's a handover. It's a polite, gentle handover. There's a lot of money that's changed hands. It's a big moment for both buyer and seller. Let's celebrate it.
Important, I think, to make sure that you're out maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. You don't want to necessarily have that situation where you're kind of leaving and the new owners have sort of turned up.
Yes,
I mean, it's a little awkward maybe.
It shouldn't happen because the solicitors and the estate agents should manage it because actually the money needs to change hands and you can't, the new owners cannot be given the keys until the money's actually landed in the right spot.
Okay.
So it shouldn't happen, but it does happen.
It does.
Things go wrong on completion day and that's massively awkward for all concerned.
A couple of practical questions for you. Number 1, do you leave the locks unchanged when you leave a property? Is that in the hands of the people that move in?
Yes.
Okay.
Leave all the keys.
Yep.
Leave all the information, but I think if somebody wishes to change the locks, then
They should do it
that's up
themselves.
to them.
Okay, fair play. And really the follow-up question to that is, what do you actually do with the keys? You've pulled the door to.
Yeah.
You're outside your property for the last time ever. You've got the keys in your hand. The removal van is in the drive. I'm painting the picture here, Phil.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. What do you do with the keys? Where do they go?
Take them to the estate agents.
Estate
And they
agents.
should wait there until everybody gets the word from the solicitors that the money's landed and it's safe to hand over the keys.
And that's
Nobody should be given the keys until the money's physically in somebody's account.
And that's the end of this journey.
That is the celebratory moment that we've made it.
That is it.
Yeah, it's not something people do lots, which is, I guess, why there's a kind of desire for information. But it's something that I've had lots of experience in buying, selling, and helping people move. It's fraught with variables, as I often.
I knew you were going to get that word in
there
at some point. Good play,
I got it in there.
Well done.
But I hope everybody's found it useful, interesting, and I wish them all the very best of luck with their selling. Thank you so much for tuning in.
And we have one little parting gift for all of our listeners/viewers, because as we all know, season 3 here has been a video performance of parts as well. You can head over to the podcast episode page at the Move IQ website and download a free moving day checklist, which I think actually this is like super useful.
Yes.
Right at the end of the journey, you want to do things right and not leave any stones unturned. So
the chances are you've got so many things flashing through your brain and jobs to do and massive tick lists. Actually, this is the list that you have to put ticks in all those boxes by the end of the day. So good luck, everybody.
Good stuff, Phil. It's been a pleasure as always hanging out with you.
Thank you, Chris.
And we'll be back at you again very, very soon, I'm sure, with another season of the Move IQ podcast. Until then, take good care.
Cheers, all the best.